What's up, guys? It's Bethany here, and we are having a really chill conversation in my living room. I'm sitting on my floor by my couch. I've got my computer, my coffee, so get in a cozy spot because we're just gonna have a little bit of a personal chat today. I'm actually gonna be sharing with you kind of how I dealt and am dealing with like body image stuff after having sweet Davy Jr. and just kind of the transition of going from not having had a baby to having had a baby, and just, you know, the struggles that I faced. I did not and have not and continue to not deal with this perfectly. I'm not like a super rock star at this all. It's been definitely a massive journey. And I know that whether you've had a baby or not, I know most of you are not even married or not even in the place of even thinking about having a baby. But I think that like body image as women is something that we all deal with. And so I just want to hopefully offer you some encouragement and just through my story, hopefully give you something to think about and maybe offer you something that will help you. I do want to let you know though that if you haven't heard, drumroll, Girl Defined has officially launched a podcast. It's called The Girl Defined Show. You can find it on Spotify or on the iTunes podcast or pretty much wherever podcasts are. So definitely go check that out. We hit on a couple things already in the first 2 episodes that like specifically pertain to just our identity as women and our worth and everything like that. And I'm going to share a few of the things that I shared in that podcast today. So I'll link it below so that you can go find it directly. But if you're wanting like more long form conversations and just more in-depth encouragement and really digging into specific biblical truths, like we're talking 30, 45 minutes. If you want that, or you're like, maybe you're a runner and you want to listen to a podcast while you run, definitely go check that out. And I really hope my head's not getting cut off. You know, when you're the lone cameraman, you just hope everything works. And sweet Davy Jr. is sleeping behind me, so if you start hearing him wake up, then that's it. So hopefully we can get through enough of this conversation before he wakes up. So definitely check out the podcast. Okay, so 9 months ago, exactly, I had Davy Jr. So a lot of you have been following my story, and especially if you follow me over on my Instagram at Bethany.Beal. I share a lot of my journey. I've shared a lot of my story, and I even have posted about like getting pregnant and all of that on Girl Defined and on this YouTube channel. But yeah, so I don't think that I was quite prepared for how much my body would change and how different it would feel and be and operate after having a baby. I thought it would be different, but I really thought things would kind of like snap back a little bit quicker. I've never struggled with like anything with body image. I've never struggled with weight gain. I've pretty much, you know, been pretty active my whole life, been into sports, exercise, and could kind of eat whatever I wanted, and just kind of everything was always great, literally until I had the baby. So I, you know, first year of marriage and stuff, I kind of ate whatever I wanted and everything was still the same, trying to eat healthy though. And, you know, even if I had issues with my skin or height or whatever, it's like, it was fine. Like it wasn't a huge deal for me. So I think some of the biggest body image struggles for me have started since having a baby. So Davy Jr. came along, and first off, like, you know, my emotions afterwards were a wreck because hormones were all over the place, like so intensely insane. You know, I would just cry about everything, like literally everything. I was such a hot mess. And there came a point where I think I had probably one of my biggest like humbling moments about just my body and who I was as a woman, and just like I remember I was sitting on my bed. This was like a week or so after having Davy Jr. I'd had a bunch of tearing, and recovery was very long, had a lot of breastfeeding issues, and so there was just a lot extra going on. And I remember I was sitting on my bed, and I was in, you know, for those that have had a baby, you know, I was basically wearing like a diaper, you know, like a big postpartum diaper, and I was just sitting there just in that diaper, and Davy Jr. was there, and I was like, wow, my husband went from having like a wife that was, you know, I thought I was pretty on it as a wife, to having like two in diapers now. Like what has my life come to? So if that's too TMI for some of you, that's just the reality. And I have like a super, you know, poochy stomach from like having had a baby. I was just like a wreck everywhere. Recovery, I was in so much pain. I couldn't even walk like down the stairs without like throbbing everywhere. It was just crazy. I wasn't sleeping. I was so insane. And so that was kind of the start of my body image journey. And I had heard from a lot of people like, oh, you're breastfeeding? Are you kidding? Like, you're gonna lose weight so fast. And that has not been my story. I feel like my body has been more like a sponge holding on to everything. And so I've really had to work through like, okay, what are my priorities in life, and what is my expectation with my body? Why did God give me a body, and how can I view my body and view my life in a way to where I don't feel kind of like discouraged and depressed over what's happened, but more like, I don't know, amazed and excited and in awe of the body that God gave me and the amazing thing that it could do. And my husband, you know, constantly reminds me, he's like, you had a baby, that's amazing. Like, can you believe what your body did? Can you believe that, you know, all that it went through? That's incredible. Like, you literally housed a human for 9 months and birthed it, and now you're feeding it from your own body. That is amazing. And I think that that's been something I've had to stop and really consider, is just that, wow, that is amazing. And that is so incredible that God designed women's bodies this way to have this potential and to, you know, when everything goes well, to be able to do this. And instead of feeling like focusing on the fact that I don't look the same and I have a lot more cellulite and my stomach may never look the same again, and I'm, you know, slowly recovering from stretch marks and everything like that, instead going, wow, like, look, God, thank you for this incredible body that you've given me, and thank you for this miraculous thing that it can do. So that's been a big perspective shift for me, one. And then two, it's been, okay, am I trying to get back to my pre-pregnancy body, or am I trying to acknowledge the fact that motherhood is incredible and it's a gift that I know so many women desire, and it's a blessing and something I don't deserve, and you know, it's something that is not a guarantee. And so just instead of having like a, oh, I can't wait to get back to my pre-pregnancy body, more like gratitude of the, you know, scars in a sense that will go with me, and the beauty marks that will go with me, that show this amazing thing that God allowed my body to do. It's such a beautiful thing, and motherhood is such a gift that none of us deserve, but that God graciously gives, and instead being just grateful for that. The other thing that's been super, super helpful for me, and if you know, have struggled at all with your body, the way it looks, anything like that, something that's been super helpful is thinking about my purpose here on earth. And the more I've taken my eyes off of, okay, what I should look like, and the pictures I'm gonna post on social media, and what people are saying about me, like, ooh, girl, you're looking amazing after pregnancy. Is that my goal, or is it something different? And so I wanna share a few verses with you that have really changed my perspective. And I actually shared these in the podcast, so go listen to the Girl Defined show. And I want you to just, you know, you'll get a fuller bit of encouragement with these verses, but I just want to share them with you because this is a reminder for me of what my life is all about. And when I'm focused on this, I'm reminded of what an incredible life I've been given, and what an incredible opportunity I have to serve God. And I'm reminded that my body really isn't about me. It's not about myself. As countercultural as that is, my life isn't about me, and ultimately who I am and my body and what I look like isn't the most important thing. Using my body to glorify God, to point others to Him, to serve Him, to have strength so I can love those around me, to love my son, to take care of him, to love my husband, to serve those around me. That's truly why I have this body and why I am here. It's not about me. And it's a joy to do those things. And that's truly where I believe freedom is found, when we take our eyes off of ourselves and trying to be perfect and trying to look a specific way, trying to measure up, trying to have the perfect social media photo, and instead remember that our purpose isn't about serving ourselves and making our name great, but instead making God's name great. And that's been the transformational part for me, and where I found so much more confidence and feeling like, you know what, my body may never look the same. I never be able to fit into those old jeans, and that's okay. Like, I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna work out, but ultimately my body may just be different, and that's okay, because I have a purpose that is greater than looking a certain way or getting a certain amount of accolades because I'm a specific size. Mark 10:45 says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." And this is just a beautiful example to me of Jesus, the Savior of the world, our perfect God, who came, and even him, he came to earth not to be served, but to serve. And he is our ultimate example. He came, and by his act of service, he has given life to so many and gives the opportunity of salvation for anyone who will believe and accept it. And so if my perfect God came not to be served, but to serve, and that's where life was found, and that's what his purpose was, I should do the same, and that's where true life will be found for me as well. Philippians 2:3-8 says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility value your others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus, who being in the very nature of God, this is important, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to death, even death on a cross. Just this reminder again that life isn't about us. It's not about like putting ourselves first, all of this like me, but serving God. And yes, being in, eating healthy, working out, resting so that we can love those around us well. But ultimately that mindset that life isn't about me. It's about God. That's why I am here, to glorify him. And for me, that's really where freedom has been found, and where like stressing over my body and trying to arrive at this perfect place, it's no longer relevant. That's not the point of why I'm here. I also love John 6:38, which says, for I have come down from heaven not to do my will, but to do the will of him who sent me. So remembering that, like for my life, I'm not here to do my will, but to do the will of my Father, to do the will of God. And if that is my focus, then when I am sitting on my bed in a big girl diaper, having just had a baby a week ago, I don't have to go, oh my gosh, I no longer look the way that I used to. My life is wrecked. Like, no, I'm doing the will of God who put me on this earth. He has chosen me to have this sweet little boy. That is a privilege. He's given me a husband. I can love them. I can serve them. I can care for them, whether I'm in a diaper or in my skinny jeans. Like, I can love them and focus on them as I rest here and as I, try to recover. And so it's just a mindset shift. If you're struggling with body image, I encourage you to try just getting your eyes off of yourself for a minute, and instead saying, okay, what is my purpose on earth? Why am I here? I'm not here to, to look a certain way or be a certain way or have a certain body type, like size, or attain a certain body type. I am here ultimately to serve God, to glorify him, to have the strongest body I can, to live for him fully. So I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna exercise, I'm gonna sleep, I'm gonna take care of myself, but not just for my own accolades, but to live for the glory of God. That's something that has been so transformational for me, and it's something I continue to work on. I'm not perfect, like I said, in this area. I'm still working on it. I'm still wrestling with, all of these things. And like I said, you can keep up with me over at bethany.beal on my Instagram. Or, if you want really more encouragement in this area, definitely tune in more to this YouTube channel, or head on over to our podcast, The Girl Defined Show. I'll link it below. That's where you're going to find a lot of encouragement. And if you like what we're doing over here at Girl Defined, definitely head on over to our Patreon account, our patron family, where you can support us with just a tiny donation each month to basically keep this channel going. It's patreon.com/girldefined, or you can click the link below and head on over to our Instagram to discuss this with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts further and just hear how you have focused on Christ and kind of dealt with body image for yourself. I'll see you there.